What's going on, guys? Here we are on another edition of Hot Topic with Copville. Let's roll. All right, I gotta get the logistics out.
Everybody, so I just want to give a quick shout out to Ghostbed, one of the OG first-time sponsors of the Anti-Hero podcast back in the day. They've been with us since day one because they have the widest variety of beds and bedding for the lowest price. I would suggest checking out their patented cooling sheets. They keep you cool on summer nights, especially people that live in hot-ass states like we do in Florida. I speak with the VP on a regular basis. He's become a good friend of mine. We stand by and guarantee ghost bed. So if you're going to replace a mattress in the house, or you're going to redo the sheets because your kids peed on them or your mother-in-law peed in it, whatever it is, go to ghostbed.com/culture and save 10% off the already ridiculously low price.
All right, Jordan, thanks for coming back. So,
hey man,
the main topic that I wanted to go over was the JSO incident. We'll watch the video, but before we watch it, just on the surface, you're a pretty squared away dude. You're very high risk. Everybody knows who you are. What's your initial take just on the surface?
It's letting an asshole make you into an asshole, and like there's no part. I'm good with everything. I'm good with everything up until the punch, and then after that, there's no like everything. It's just a shit show after that. There's no way that you can actually like say everything else is good. Yeah.
And here's I want to talk about is you're more the use of force guy. I'm looking at it from, and well, you're everything. You're the interdiction guy too, but I don't care what he stopped him for. I don't care if his tires didn't stop for 1 millimeter past the stop bar. I don't care if the California rolled so slow. From what I understand, this is some type of investigatory stop. I can't say it, whatever the stop is. So I don't care. I've stopped people in the hood for like a piece of debris flying out of the back of their truck, like whatever it is. The stop is not important to me. What happens that point forward is what's important to me is, like you said, you can't get baited. And just as last week, we have Jason Reyes from the Long Island Auditor released a video of the guy spitting in his mouth, and then you have this one right behind it. Very similar incidents where the guys are being whatever they're being. They don't have to like the police. They don't have to be nice to the police. They have every right to do whatever they want. Why put yourself in this position to defend yourself? Because like we were talking about before, I'd rather it be 3 a.m. when the guy reaches in his pocket and I think he's pulling a gun out and I shoot him. And it's like, oh, damn, he wasn't cooperating. He was doing everything wrong. He was not listening, but it happened to be a cell phone or a knife or whatever it may be. That's the one that I want to see everybody defend or go after. Why would you do something so silly? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to roll the video. We'll let it play and we'll see what everybody thinks.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right.
No, don't.
Get on the ground.
So,
Put your hands on your back. Put your hands on your back.
like I said, everything up until the punch, the window, that's what we do. That's it. That's textbook. They've talked about it. I think they said there was 7 or 10 times they tried to tell him he doesn't get an option to get a supervisor there. He doesn't get a nod. Pennsylvania versus Mims is pretty clear. Why would you punch him in the face? Why punch him? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And
no, and the but like I said, like, there's no they had it. They were fine. And like the funny part is like you watch their movements together and you watch the way they talk to each other. Like they work together. Like these are their shift mates, so everyone is comfortable with what they have going on. But like the mechanics of the way the stop went, that's just what they've always done. This isn't the first time that guy's done that. This is just the way that their shift moves when they stop a car. And like they said, it was fine up until it was go time. And then they have no skills, they have no tactics, they don't work together. They damn sure don't fucking train together. So that's when it all turns into just this shit sandwich. Especially when you pull it out because they're in each other's way. They're falling all over each other. It's just this is just the way they operate, and they've been operating this way for a while. So it just looks like trash, man.
Yeah. And here's a statement. And thoughts on Izzo saying Pennsylvania versus Mims needs to be overturned. I didn't see him say that. I'm a very good friend of Dominic's. We agree on a lot of things. We disagree on things. I disagree. I don't think Pennsylvania versus Mims should be overturned. It's an officer safety thing. It's a comfort thing for the officer. And when applied correctly, it's the right thing to do. Ordering you out of your car if I feel that you might be able to access a weapon, or I want to see your waistband, I want to see you get up, spin around, and I want to be safe. Absolutely, Pennsylvania versus Mims applies. What doesn't apply is stupid tactics like punching somebody in the face through a window. Now, I've gotten here's the common, I got called a soy boy the other day for defending the auditor in the other one that we might take a look at. Another, just why let the guy crank you up that high? Some guys are trying to say distractionary technique. Come on.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's a phrase that somebody came up with. Like, how are we gonna church this up a little bit? There's no fucking any defensive tactics class you go through taught anywhere in a whole that says we're going to use distractionary strikes. It doesn't work that much.
I could think of a distractionary strike if you're going to use one, maybe like hitting, kneeing a guy, in the trying to get his arm behind his back, and maybe hit. I still, after becoming somewhat decent in jiu-jitsu,
that's not
need for it anymore.
That's pain compliance.
That has a
That's
purpose. Yeah. So you're right. Somebody punched somebody in the face, and they said you're not allowed to do that. He goes, distractionary technique, and they all went, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And you are, because I'm the soy boy, you are easily seen on hundreds of videos where your adrenaline is 1,000 times more redlined than these guys ever should have been. You've been in 130-mile-an-hour pursuits. Cars have rolled over. Guys got guns. To this day, I have never seen you punch a guy in the face simply because he wouldn't get out of a car. So I'm like, okay, I'm the soy boy. I'll be the soy boy. But here's the guy that you can YouTube and watch him chase 1,000 cars. Watch even the one that the big one everyone got crazy about. You ripped a guy out of the car and put him at gunpoint, put your gun away, put your knee on his back, handcuffed him, and took him to jail. I mean, that could have been, you'd watch a guy run some people over. If anybody needed a punch in the face, it was probably that guy, but but I will say this. I'm not buying any type of racism in this case. I am not buying it. I'm not going with it. And if it goes that route, it's bullshit from the beginning.
No, it's not. And there's no, it's like I said, it's an asshole. And the problem was these guys knew what this dude was doing. They knew what he was. The moment he did the whole, I'm not call your supervisor, why he's not, everyone, like the same spiel. They knew what he was, right? So they let him amp them up, and he made them look like idiots because they bit. Because they bit, man. There was no need to go their route. They chose to do that. So I mean, they I'll be honest with you, they probably weren't even all that amped up because how many times they probably stopped hundreds of dudes exactly like that.
Yeah,
so
it's Jacksonville.
They were just mad about it, or
they shoot people like 4 times a week in Jacksonville. Like they're mowing them down up there. So, the other thing is for your distractionary technique, conspiracy theorist, they had like 3 minutes to come up with a plan. you don't really get that much opportunity to come up with a plan on most hot calls. They knew they were going to break the window. They said they gave the order, go.
Yeah.
No tactics, techniques, no plan.
No.
And if you thought he was dangerous with a knife, or what, you're reaching in and undoing his seatbelt. So at that point, that officer is completely exposed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we look at felony stops and how we conduct felony stops, you know, back of the car, call outs. Now, yeah, was this guy going to listen? I think it would be even better to break his freaking window and load the car at pepper spray or pepper ball gun. Like, there's a lot of things you could do in that situation, but I can't get down with the punch.
No, there was no, like I said, there was no, and anytime you're going to engage in somebody, any expenditure of energy, if you're in a fight, needs to be accounted for, because I don't want to start putting that, you know, using energy units on this guy inside of a car when I know that when I get him out, I'm going to need as many energy units as I can to take him into custody, right? So I'm not gonna do. And you saw he ate that punch like a champ. That punch didn't do shit. So so he goes through there's a whole million what ifs. But like, what if the deputy broke his hand on his jaw? He's out. There's nothing he can do. What if he missed and punched the door frame? What if What if recent guy grabbed his arm and then held him, and then he was blocked in? But there's so many things of like, anytime you go through vehicle extractions or whatever is like that, the one rule is don't get in the fucking car if you don't have to get in the car, right? Yeah. So you're going to expose yourself. You're going to expose yourself. Just back off. You have tools, whatever it was like that. And like, the thing is funny, when they smashed the window out, he was done at that point. He would have had his hands up and it was over at that point. It wasn't going to be a thing.
I think so.
He was going to comply at that point. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you would use up it's like using the cat using up its 9 lives. Why use it? And then you get out of the car. Let's take it out of the car. And then he caught about 2 or 3 knuckle sandwiches outside the car. And it's like, again, with training, takedowns, you know, multiple officers, there's 3 or 4 dudes out there now. It's like, you know, escort him to the ground, but you got him moving out of the car. That's a good time to like use even an LVNR at that point is probably not allowed there, but more applicable than punching somebody in the face. And the second punch is even more bullshit than the first punch, because when he gets, first of all, that deputy's all fucked up. So when he gets him out, he brings him out of the V anyway, right? The first place you're going to do, as soon as he gets out of the car, pin him in the V, work from there, see what the deal is, right? He pulls him out, stands next to him, stands face to face with the dude, starts pulling on his head when there's 400 pounds of dudes pulling in the other direction. So he goes to pull him down. Now they're doing a tug of war with the human. Then he hauls off and cracks him in the face. The dude's not resisting. The dude can't physically go anywhere, right? No. So he can't. He would love to do whatever you want him to do at that point, but he has 400 pounds of meat strapped to his back, and he can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. You got multiple. So again, punch. There is a place to punch somebody. So I don't want anybody to think. And there's a place to punch a guy sitting in a car. There is a time for that. Absolutely, 1,000%. There's always a time for punching somebody in the face. They need to be punched. I'm not going against it. Once he's out of the car, everything we're taught now with control, takedowns, 2 guys, like you said, there's the one black dude is huge. The one that's outside the car, he's huge. Yeah. Pin the guy up against the car, take him to the ground. There's so many other options. And I don't know if that's a training issue, and I'm not trying to shit on these guys. I'm not trying to go like, no. Do I think they should all be fired? No. Do I think it's the level of firing? No. I think it's bad training. I think it's old tactics. And again, Steve keeps ranting about the stop and the light bulbs. I don't care. I used the most chicken shit stuff to stop criminals for buying drugs. You don't catch people drive very safe when they're doing dumb shit. Yeah. You have to dig into the statute book. Who cares what the stop was for? 70 and a 30, light bulbs, whatever. Who cares? I don't care. I've stopped people for, like I said, debris flying out of the back of the car, bald tires, whatever it is. We've all done it. Yeah. That's irrelevant. Yeah. It's once you're there, and you're doing it, you have to maintain the cool. And we've watched cops in the last 2 weeks. Well, this one was in February, but the videos have come out. We've watched 2 cops in the last 2 weeks, one on duty, one off duty, or multiple on duty, lose their cool over something I wouldn't want to defend. Yeah. I wouldn't want to defend that. And your union doesn't want to defend that. And the sheriff is very aggressive, and he comes out initially defending it. But some of the stuff I'm hearing is you can't see the punches on the body camera. Yeah. So they didn't have the video from in the car. So when they did their use of force reports in the review, I'm told there's an oversight board in Jacksonville that immediately reviews all uses of force. Well, they don't see some of the stuff that happens on those videos, and it's cleared.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be fact. I'm just getting from sources I've talked to at the SO. So maybe they didn't see everything. This angle looks pretty fucking bad. It looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like,
But again, not to shit on him, because here's the thing that I do like about the guys. Like, everyone is down for it, right? There are zero to rock and roll immediately. Everyone is down to go hands on. No one's hanging out in the bushes watching. Everybody is fucking down to run it.
Yeah.
So that's the type of group of dudes. If you get together and you actually have a plan and you work through it, you can avoid all that stuff. You can roll people up with a nice little bow in record time if you guys just work it out. Don't melee turns into terrible situations. Like, everything works without opposition, right? So this dude, especially the guy that grabs him out. I mean, if you watch it, especially when he gets out of the car, now they're all surrounding him. Well, he's pulling on his head. The dude's hands are up, right? And I'm not saying he gets, but he has nothing to defend. He has no weapon retention at all. Yeah, I'm sure the guys behind him would have done whatever. But like, if you let me get double underhooks on you, you now belong to me. There's nothing you can do. It's over for you, man. So like, he just didn't have the awareness of protecting himself, probably because like I said, the guy wasn't fighting back for him to really kind of, press the issue of how bad it was working. But if those dudes got together and actually worked as a unit, man, they'd just be lining them up, man. Line them up, stuff them up.
Let's go back. I'm going to bring it back up, and I'm going to go back to once they're out of the car. All right, add the screen. Boom. All right, here we are out of the car. So they've extracted him as soon as I figure out how to operate this thing. And now we're going to go. He's been extracted, and now you have 1, 2. The black dude's on his back, and the white dude with the hat is facing him. And let's go from here. So now you've got. Oh, that's not the black dude yet. So you got one guy's got an underhook under his arm there. You got one guy around his head. There's 3 guys, right? 1, 2, 3. 1 punch, and now we're down.
Stop fighting! Put your hands on your back. Put your hands on your back.
Now we got to get down and get back. Like, I know what's going on down there. So, I've been on the bottom of that pile.
The air quotes. Yeah, they have the air quotes. Stop resisting.
Stop resisting. Yeah,
he ain't fucking resisting, dude. Yeah, stop
resisting.
Yeah,
and let me not
resisting. He's halfway unconscious.
Yeah, let me be honest. I have punched people in the face. I have probably done something similar to this as a younger cop when I didn't know what I know now. So I'm not better than anybody else. I'm not here to critique people like I'm some expert. I'm looking at it from, is this the one you want to go to civil court over and defend your home, your family, and your children and your career over? And that's what I'm looking at. And it just doesn't seem worth it. Save it for the one that, like you said, is a knockdown, drag out. It's just chaos. And there's 3 or 4. You got to start punching people to get, you're outnumbered. All the stuff that goes down in some of these big cities, like you've worked around, that just shit hits the fan. That's when you go all out. But when you have that many officers with an option, plan. And every class I've been to like the U.S. Marshals, Fugitive Task Force Academy at Camp Landing. We learned like multiple people takedowns and how to easily wrap up their arms and get them on the ground and underhook from the side, grab their belt loops from underneath. Somebody cuffs them, how to run into them with the shield. So you could have a shield. There's so many things. But this dude was being a prick, and I think that's where it just got them a little cranked above their normal.
Yep. And they might know all that. They might train all that. But they just made the decision that he got pissed, and they weren't operating. He was operating on basic fucking motor systems at that point. He was like, you're mad, so I'm gonna take it out on your jaw.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because. And I'm not as off the rails as, like I said, I don't agree with everything that Izzo says about it. He's hung up on the traffic stop and the reason, and I get it. We were different cops though. Like, he did a different type of. He always jokes. He wasn't a goon. He didn't do that stuff. So maybe I haven't talked to him about it. Maybe hearing me talk about it, that sometimes the chicken shit stops or for other reasons, and it's not just like I'm going to stop somebody that's black because they have no headlights on and it's sprinkling out. There was probably some investigation.
There's no, there's, if you, like, sometimes you just got to get the car stopped, man. Like, if you're doing an investigation, like, especially when I worked dope, I was stopping you for anything. It was going to be legitimate. But I will happily walk up to your car and be like, I'm stopping you because you turn left on a Tuesday. And I'll say with a straight face, man, because it is what it, just go with it, right? Just go with it. And a lot of times, the biggest thing with that is, like, if you stop somebody for a chicken shit reason or whatever, if you walk up with a chicken shit reason and they are shitting their pants, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. If you walk up and you're like, hey man, I stopped you for 56 and the 55, and they go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're like, the fuck is going on with you? Right?
Yeah.
So
and that's part of that's
like,
investigative techniques.
You're like,
that's
okay,
investigative. That's investigative techniques, and people don't realize that. Like, me and my buddy had a running joke. Some of our PC was so cheese dick that they would say, they're getting in the back of the car with cuffs on. We found the drugs, and they're like, "What'd you stop me for?" And I'd be like, "It'll be in your paperwork." But I didn't even want to say it out loud. I didn't want to say it out loud. Like, your tires were a quarter inch on the white line, which you're required to stop behind it all the way. And I'd be like, "Ugh, that's a tough one." We had a guy one time,
especially if you
we had a guy that we stopped him so many times. I don't think he was buying drugs. I think he was picking up black prostitutes, but he was white in the hood, and he actually started signing the tickets driving while white. He would write his driving while white on the bottom of the ticket when we stopped him, because he's like, I know why you guys. So it happens, and that's, some people will argue that, like, oh, that's too aggressive. Cops shouldn't have that. Well, people don't show up and hand their drugs over. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We have to have that level of aggression when it comes to PC and stopping cars. And you never know. The detectives could have said, hey, this guy's a suspect in a homicide, or this guy's a suspect in a theft, and we just need him stopped for any reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's sprinkled a little bit. His headlights aren't on. I'm stopping him.
Yeah.
And then my other side is, if he gets out of the car or doesn't start out the contact the way he does, we're not talking about this. We're talking about something else.
Yeah. And again, whatever the back. So if it was just, an ID stop, there's been plenty of times I've stopped somebody and they're that guy. I don't give a shit. My mission is here to find out who you are. I don't care. I walk up, get your driver's license. I'm leaving. I'm not taking you because I don't care that much. That's not why I'm there. So again, if that was their idea, they're like, we need to get this. He matched the suspect from the whatever. Go stop him, get his ID, go about your day. Granted, like he said, he did the whole I'm not getting out of the car thing, whatever. But if you go up and he turns into a dickhead, it doesn't matter. Let him be a dickhead. Just do your thing and leave. Yeah.
But then you, like, just like the auditor, when guys are like trying to argue with me, like, oh, it's dangerous. Like, what this guy's there for. Could he be there to blow your house up? Okay, yes, he could. Yeah. Could this dude be ready to pull a gun? Yes. But so far, the only one I've seen set up a video and actually do it was the jihad dude in DC that got stopped. He set up the camera. He had the gun belt on. Remember? And then he pulled the gun out and reloaded and shot the guy, and they ended up killing him. That's the only time in my entire life I remember seeing a bad guy set up a video camera and then actually carry out a heinous act. Yeah. So when they start setting up the camera,
you knew what that guy was. You knew what the auditor. You know what the auditor dudes. The auditor dudes. They don't want violence. They're not there to be violent. That's not what they're there. And you can get a feel for it. You can understand if you knew. And like for me, like here, man, my house is off limits, dude. My house is off limits. Don't come to the house. The family is out of fucking bounds. Don't come to my house. But if you come up here for whatever, I'll know in 1 second, whether I need to deal with you or not. And if I don't need to deal with you, I'm shutting my door and I'm leaving. I don't care, man. I damn sure I gotta follow you, walk down the street. Come on, you're gonna re-engage. So he left. So he left home base. He left himself and offered himself up, walked right out and right into the open. So if he felt like he was threatened, he left his strong point and walked out unprotected. Like,
I'll pull it up. I got it right here. I pull it up. Here we go. This is the beginning of the video that most people didn't see.
Oh, I'm currently being recorded, his Ring camera said.
Can I help you?
Hey, Sergeant Fahey, how are you?
You gotta get off my property. It's posted no trespassing.
Nope, there is no posted sign. There's no problem. Do you have any, let's go. Do you have any comments on the...
So I want to stop right there. Immediately after being told to leave, he says, let's go. And he starts walking backwards.
Allegations that you are... I am moving Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving?
So
That should have been it right there.
there it
That should
is.
have been the end.
There it is.
That should have been
There it
the
is.
end of
What?
it.
30 second, 25 seconds?
Yep.
That it's
should have been the
over.
end of it.
Okay. So here now the rest happens.
Couldn't even get the question out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry. Couldn't even get the question out. He says that there's no trespassing signs. Let's see. Let's see if there's no trespassing signs. What a coward. He can assault me in broad daylight while receiving taxpayer money.
So there is an incident. I'm not going to pull that up, but 2021, they're at the police department or somewhere. Reyes walks up to him and he's recording him, and this dude smacks the cell phone out of Reyes's hand. Battery. Should have been arrested.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
But the minute an independent journalist comes to his home, and he's probably going to try and get me unlawfully arrested now. As you could see, I moved back his camera that says you're currently being recorded.
Now this is, you can already hear it. It's
yeah.
already a problem.
Yep.
He's screaming.
Yep.
And now here we go.
Film this guy. You're crazy. What do you think I'm doing, you psycho? You have a weapon in your hand? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't have any weapons. I'm a journalist. What do you think I'm doing, you psychopath? What do you think I'm doing?
Now. Get off
What
my
do you
property
think I'm
right
doing?
now.
What do you think
Get
I'm
off my
doing?
property right now.
I'm off your property.
This is my property.
Well, do you see me
All
not
the way
moving?
to the cul-de-sac.
Calm down.
Get off my
that gun out
fucking
of your hand.
property.
Get that gun out of
Get
your hand,
off
you
my
psycho.
fucking property.
Get that gun
I'm
out
a
of your hand, you
goddamn
psycho.
Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't care who you are.
trespassing
I don't
on
care
my
who you are.
fucking
I don't
property.
care who you
Get
are.
off my fucking
I don't
property.
care who you are.
Right now.
You spit in my
Get off
face.
my property right
All right. I can only take so much. That's
Oh my
insane.
God,
And I got called a
fucking
soy boy.
blood
I got
pressure.
called, yeah, I got called every name in the book because of that. How do you defend that? How do you defend that? To me, this is worse than the black kid. This is worse than the black kid.
Stupid. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, escalates the voice inflect everything he does after he's leaving shows me that he's not mentally stable to be a cop. And you can spin it however which way you want to spin it. Your castle, your house, just like you said, it is. You know what? If you want to defend your family that well, stay in the fucking house with the gun pointed at the front door. And when that dude cracks the door, you blow his fucking melon off.
Yeah. Yes.
Simple. And you call the police and you say, hey, this guy's not leaving my porch. And if he cracks this door, I'm going to blow him in pieces. And then you're justified. But that whole situation is nuts. And they kind of go hand in hand where the cops allowed in one on duty, multiple on duty, one off duty. The cops allowed themselves to get sucked into the auditors. And you can hate them. You can call them what they want. You can say things about them, but it's what they do. It's 2025. It's not, and these old time cops. I remember when phone numbers were so protected.
It's letting an asshole turn you into an asshole.
Yeah. So and okay, here's a good comment. He sees two adults pushing each other's buttons. I do too. One, unfortunately, and the guy everybody wants to hate, the auditor, does less.
Yeah.
He's less. I would call that cop emotionally hijacked because that's what they tried to call me one time. So I would say he's emotionally hijacked.
And the cop crime.
You're breaking up. Start over. The cop what?
So the cop is the only one who commits a crime.
Yeah, but Reyes got arrested. He got arrested for criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and voyeurism. They pulled. I don't know what the laws are in Connecticut, but that was what they pulled out of the books up there.
In Georgia, he ain't. Because like I said, where we work, we have a metric fuck ton of celebrities that live where I work. So we get people coming down all the time, like filming their houses and whatever it was like that. And they call and I'll show up. But the way it works for us, you can film, you just can't film in the. And I explain the same thing to them. I'll show up. I'm like, listen, like if they're outside or whatever, you can film them. You just can't film into their house. That's what the law says. You can't film into their house. If you film into their house or any place that they have a reasonable expectation of privacy, then you're going to go. Other than that, I don't give a shit. You can sit here and be weird all you want to. That's fine.
Yeah. Trooper lost his cool. He could have stood his ground in his property without spitting in the face. We know that happens when you spit in a cop's face. Yeah. Here's the thing. You spit in my mouth like that, I think Reyes had every right to drill him right in his fucking mouth. And then what do we got? Then we're gonna have a shooting.
But if that happened, like you might, Reyes might go, sure, fine, but the cop's going too. I don't care, dude. This is not you're going also. I don't like. I'm sorry. Fuck out of here, dude. Like if you do something like that, you're going also. I've locked up too many fucking cops. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I was like I won't let it slide. The reason I'll let cops off because like for getting traffic stops and shit like that is because I'll do that for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give you a break on something I wouldn't give somebody else a break for. You know what I mean? That's not the whole. It's like the whole like, oh, we have to. I got your back. I got your fucking back until you do something so fucking stupid that I'm like, you should have known better. You should have known better.
Yeah,
and then you go. And then you go. And that's how it goes.
If you look at the first incident, he's obviously a hothead, and then he smacks the phone out of his hand, and now you have this incident. And you're right. I always justified the same thing you just said. I never wrote tickets. If I wrote a ticket, it was for drug violation. 893-13 is Florida drugs. You have to write a citation with a felony drug arrest, driving on suspended license. If you really pissed me off and we got into it, you'd get the ticket. But I didn't stop a general John Q. citizen and go, hey man, you're going, 7. I remember when an FTO, I was an FTO at the sheriff's office. I went from the city to the county. I stopped a girl on the interstate going 102 and a 70 on 95. Got to the car. She was in tears. Her mom had just been in a massive accident in South Florida. She was going from UCF and before she could finish getting out, off she goes. The FTO jumps out of the car and starts screaming on the radio that the car's taken off. And I'm like, no, I let her go. And he's like, you let her go. And he was like, traffic guy. He ended up being a motorcycle cop that like fucked everybody. I'm like, bro, her fucking mom's been in a car accident. Like off you go. And that's what I always said. I could justify letting a cop go because if a citizen had the same problem, I'd be like, I didn't write crash tickets. Like the city of Vero made you write a ticket at a crash. And I'm like, all right.
Bullshit.
So little Bonnie rolled a stop sign, got in the most traumatic day of her life by rear-ending somebody. Her insurance is going sky high. She's 16, and now she's got a $173 careless driving ticket on top of it. Like that really does wonders for society. So if you got a ticket with my name on it, it was attached to a narcotic citation. Or
the only time you ever got citations from me was that's just how when we went to the jail. That's how the jail tracked your arrest. Like I would put, I've put like homicide on fucking traffic tickets before. It was just the paper trail to do it. I never wrote tickets.
Yeah, a lot of the state statutes in Florida.
Anybody gets ever. And GSP, man, they jerk off over that shit. Like there's no like, oh my God. But yeah, I never wrote anybody any tickets, man. It was just the biggest pain in the ass to deal with that crap for the longest time. But like I was there for one specific thing, and I never wrote anybody tickets. I still don't to this day. I never write tickets. I never ever write tickets.
I hated it. Yeah. A lot of times if they took me to traffic court, I would just drop it. But the old days you could just drop it and nobody knew. Now it's a whole fucking memo process. When I left, you had to the captains had to be involved, but I would get like a speeding ticket fucking subpoena, and I'm like, I'm not fucking going in there for this shit. I just off you go, like drop it. Like who cares? Like, and, the only ones I really cared about, like you said, were in Florida, like driving on the habitual tickets, the all drug citation had to be on citations because your license was suspended for the drug, so they had to have some type of traffic record. So no, I did not watch that, Nate. So that's how, like you're right. That's how I would treat another cop, and that was the easiest way for me to always the citizen's not getting a ticket, so why would a cop? But in this case, this is the time you have to look at the cop and go, this is one of those times where you go, hey man, you're held to a little bit higher standard. Like it sounds corny to say it sometimes, but bro, like the law better than anybody. Why? What are you doing?
Yeah, we had one, man. I had one the other day, and I never. Every time I've locked a cop up, I've never given a shit about doing it. I didn't care. I never felt, oh, he's gonna. You made the decision. You know what I'm saying? You put us in this situation. We're here. I had one. We had one just a couple months ago, man. This dude, like he was walking through a parking lot. A lady was driving through the parking lot. He pulls his gun out, walks up to her car, and puts his gun, like press checks it to her face because
Beautiful.
he said his life was in danger. And I was like, what? Like when I had him in handcuffs, I'm explaining, like, I'm like, you're going to jail, dog. I was like, let's back this up and think about for 1 second. Let's slow this down because you have a lot of times we drive to the jail. What about any of that made it seem like it was a good fucking idea? And he sat there, he's like, hey, you're right. Well, there you go. Because you didn't think about it. Now it is what it is, man. That was the dumbest shit you could have possibly done. So it's just like every time I've ever taken a cop to jail, when you talk to him, like, and I'll be honest with you, I've never, that in my memory, I've never had a cop being like, oh man, you like me, you're ruining my career. They're like, I fucked up my career. I made a poor decision. So they put the onus on them. But I've never cared.
I don't think I've ever arrested a cop. I'm trying to think. Maybe a correction. Well, no, I did. I got one of our own corrections deputies. She was driving her boyfriend to sell crack.
Man, we did when I was on the interdiction unit, we were doing a dope. We hit a house, actually not too far from where I live now, which is funny enough. But we were there, and then through the T3, they were talking about that a robbing crew, which is all police officers, was coming to the same house to rob the guy whose house we were already at.
Yeah.
And,
for those listening,
again,
T3,
all the guys I was with, we're all like, sorry.
T3 is a wiretap, so people won't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, T3. And then so we're all set up. So it went from that to being like, we were all like, shit, we're gonna get a gunfight right in the middle of Fulton County, man. And then so we ended up actually going up on that dude. And he did. We set him up, and he robbed a DEA agent. We were sitting behind. We were sitting behind a strip mall, and he comes up. He's in his agency's police car, and does a traffic stop and pulls this dude over and robs a DEA agent for $40,000. And we go out. So I'm on him. I come out of the car. That was one of the most satisfying arrests of my entire fucking life. Because that dude is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to do that, man.
You hear that, Steve? We put a self-proclaimed hero in jail for being a piece of shit. And we liked it.
I'll lock a cop up. I'll lock a cop up and don't think twice. I'll sleep like a baby.
We've had quite a few get it, but big stuff. We had child pornography and some other crazy shit. But you're right. You don't deserve to be treated specially because you're a cop. I believe that. And in these situations, the guy at the house, the auditor, you can't do that. You just can't. And people were giving me, it's funny, the guys in my own network were trying to talk shit about me the first night. Then they saw it. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I'm not special, but I've been in some shit. I've had drug dealers tell people they're going to kill me. Like, I know Mike lives at this address. If I get out of prison, I'm going to kill him. And there's like two of them. Both of them last name Brown. Both got life in prison. I'm telling you, I think about them every day. Like, I pray that nothing ever happens, it never gets overturned, and they don't get out of jail. I lived in low income housing as a courtesy officer at an apartment complex. I walked out my front door one day as a detective in the dumb shit I make fun of people now for wearing the church clothes. All I had on was a badge and a gun and some handcuffs and a tie wrapped around my neck. I hadn't tied it yet. And I got in a knockdown, drag out fist fight right in front of my apartment, like where I live, with some crackhead that was out in the parking lot yelling the N-word at all these black people. And I had to get in a fucking fist fight with him and solicit some other people to help me because he was all grimy and slimy. I know what it's like to have people know where you live, know who you are. I live in a small town. There's only 140,000 people. I grew up here when I was 17. Like, I grew up around all these people, and they all know who I am since I was a cop at 22 years old. I get it. But it doesn't give you the right to act like a complete fucking lunatic because somebody comes to your door. Like, that's insane.
No, but yeah, I was talking about that. Like when I was on our dope unit. Like I had cartel lawyers pull my personnel file, and they redact all that shit like that. But you want to talk about not being able to fucking fall asleep at night?
Yeah.
The goddamn Sinaloa cartel is trying to find out where you live. That'll get your attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, yeah, so that was why. But yeah, but this dude, completely different situation. This is just some nerd who's going to show you, and you already know about him. Everyone knows that from the moment he started speaking, I knew his whole. I saw resist tyranny or whatever. I knew everything about that dude. Have a good day, bud.
Yeah. Well, and
And go right back to my couch. I don't care about you.
And I've gone through many transitions as a cop, and I used to think the auditors were full of shit, and I don't really knock it at this point, because there are a lot of those dudes that expose cops that have no idea about the Constitution and the law, and trespassing is one of the biggest problems I've even seen locally, that cops can't figure out what trespassing is. And they think just because some business says, like, I signed a trespass warning for my you get people that try to trespass people. Like, I live in a subdivision with a gate. Still can't tell somebody not to come through the gate and knock on my door. So, like, people get confused about what trespassing even is, and when you can blanket trespass somebody. And these auditors are pretty slick. I watched one today. It wasn't a cop, but it was a guy who I didn't get to see the outcome, but he's standing outside like a company, and the guy from the company runs out and snatches his freaking camera out of his hand and starts screaming and calls him. And it's like, if the citizens don't know the law, the cops definitely don't know the law. So some of these auditors that go to like libraries, and I was on a YouTube video here locally. An auditor came to our tax collector's office where we do our driver's license, and the initial cop had it all wrong, and the tax collector had it all wrong, and they wanted to arrest the guy. I show up and I'm like, listen, like, nope, can't do it. Like, don't video. You can't put your camera behind the counter. You can't video the screens. They have social security numbers and all that. Otherwise, enjoy video all you want. And then you know what they did? They left, because they were like, well, we didn't get a rise out of that guy. We also have the guy. We have the guys in Florida, the gun guys in Florida. If you are going fishing, you can strap an AR-15 around or a rifle around your and walk around with it. So if you have a fishing pole and you say, I'm going fishing, you could walk from one end of this state to the other with a rifle and a fishing pole. And they show up and they go stand under the bridge, and they stand there with a gun, and they got a little tiny little mini fishing pole, and they wait for the cops to show up, and they're looking for a lawsuit. So the only way to get over on those guys is to know the law, study the law, and have the right answers. And they'll go away. It's like mosquitoes, man. Once you zap spray the spray, they're going to go away. But I like them. I think it's a good checks and balances for cops to be tested about the law. We should know the Constitution.
I get excited, man. If I stop like the sovereign citizen or sovereign citizen adjacent, whatever, I get fucking excited. Like a lot of people, we have fake tags, whatever. They pull over, and if they start their spiel, I'm like, hang on. Like I'm just like, all right, I'm ready. All right, hit me with it. Because it's fun to have like a little mental battle on the side of the road. And like the easiest way is just be nice. Just be nice. Like, don't bait them. And what is for a lot of guys watching is funny is like, you also have to know when you're getting out in deep waters, and you have to check your ego to be like, I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I might need you to shut up or back off, right? Because I'll even do that. I'm like, all right, we're wandering. Let me fact check that. They'll quote some obscure section of some whatever it was like that, and I'm kind of like, oh, that might be real. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, but I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that part. Yeah.
We had a girl 2 counties south that ended up being a famous video, went viral, where she was in a Wawa parking lot. They had a guy stopped, and he was videoing, and she told him, "You're not allowed to videotape me."
Yeah.
And then threatened to arrest him. And the dude was very intelligent. He goes, "Wawa's recording both of us right now. Are you going to arrest Wawa?" "I don't care. The law says you can't record me." He's like, "No, I'm pretty sure I can record you. Like, if you come to my house, my doorbell's." And she looked crazy, and she looked bad. And then the arrest on the other person was bad. So it was like a complete disaster. But those are the things. And this, I know this person because she worked at our agency for a couple of years and then went there. So she's multiple years into her career, and she doesn't know that you are allowed to be videotaped in public. And that's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem on your own accord, because you go make an arrest. Or if a citizen calls and says, "Hey, this guy recorded me," you make a bad arrest. That's a big problem if you don't know the law. Yeah. So that's where I look at.
We had a guy. We had called. The guy was weird. He was recording people. The lady was asleep in her car in the middle of a parking lot. One of the employees, and he was like, I guess took a picture of her, whatever, sleeping in her car, passed out in her car, and they were all mad about it. I was like, he can do it. I was like, he's allowed to do it. I was like, he's weird. He's being weird, but he hasn't done anything criminal. So yeah, I mean, I understand you're uncomfortable. But like, he hasn't, and they don't like it. They don't like, we called you out here. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I got to side with that guy because that's just how it goes, man.
And the other thing that cracks me up is, at this point, 90% of society loves the fucking camera. They post
Oh, yeah.
selfies, they post videos, they post every part of their life, their food. Every cop, large majority of cops are TikTok, Instagram, gym lifting videos. But some moron walks up and goes, "Hey, I'm recording you," and you fucking lose your mind. Or some person in public that takes 1,000 pictures of their family and posts them, on Facebook that everybody's sick of seeing them. And then some guy walks by and he's videoing, and the whole world goes like, "Oh, you can't do that." It's like, bro, have you seen your Instagram feed or your fucking Facebook?
Yeah.
You're like, all you do is post dumb pictures, and now
Yeah.
this dude's walking around with a camera and your feelings are hurt. And it's like,
Yeah.
find something else. Like that's
Yeah.
today. Like they're fucking every tag is being read. Like there's facial recognition at like Walmart's now. Everywhere you go, Google knows everything you're doing in your phone. Everything is public at this point, and you let some auditor or some dude with a camera ruin your fucking life. It's like, stop it. And everybody knows your address. It's not like you said, it's not the old days where cops were like, we were hidden and all these, you didn't, all the public records and removed from this, that. But it takes like if I stick my wife on you, it takes like 3 seconds for her to figure out who you are, what your screen name is, where you're at, what city you work. Like it happens like that. And I'm pretty good at it now. Izzo's pretty good at it. So it's like, you're not being secret. Like the cop today, the dude I posted, the dude that fucking had the magazines upside down. I had no idea who he was. Dude's standing in the picture. He looks like a moron. It's because magazine's upside down. I don't know his name. Somebody sent it to me. I'm like, oh, let's, laugh. He fucking DMs me and running his fucking mouth. And I'm like, okay, now I know who you are. And now I know what agency you work, and you got my attention. It's like, yeah, I'm a prick. I'm a dick. I post stuff that's whatever. I make fun of myself. I was on TikTok. I've done dumb shit. We all laugh. We learned. I talked some shit to a chick a couple of months ago, and she found a picture of me wearing a blonde wig and a fucking TikTok and posted it. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a sense of humor too. Like Tyler got me a couple months ago, a month or two ago. He says, "Hey, what was your old TikTok handle?" I have no idea why he asked. The next thing I know, he finds every duet that I was in, because those videos are still out there, and like posts them. I'm like, okay, like I know what it's like to be a moron. I've been there, but I don't understand why people still get so bent up when they bring this stuff to themselves and then play the victim.
Yeah.
So,
and it's always the people who like, it's just, should look better, or they should know better. And that was always a big thing. And like that was always, so they're one of the it's not a real big thing, but like always the cringy shit was like GSP guys would pull other officers over like in their marked patrol cars. Like they'd pull them over in their
nuts. That is
in their
nuts.
patrol. In the patrol. Dude, I know troopers that to this day will they'll write you a damn speeding ticket in uniform, in your patrol car, whatever it was like that.
Nuts.
And like, all right, but these dudes are cooking. I'm talking like they are fucking zooming. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do it because I've never done it. Like I don't give a shit. But like you can't get mad if you're doing 100 miles an hour for no reason.
I know.
You can't get mad, dude. I'm like, I think it's stupid. And I know a lot of those troopers, and I'll tell them to their face that they're a piece of shit for doing it.
Yeah.
But they're also not wrong. So
they're not. But I couldn't do it. I remember a couple years ago we had 2 years ago was the Orlando Seminole County month. You remember that? The guy in the Orlando PD car got arrested by the Sanford PD.
Oh, he pulls off and like drives off.
Pulls off and drives. Yeah, and they ended up charging him with like fleet eluding, and it was like that one was popular. You're right. It's almost like the auditor. It's wrong. We all do it. It's wrong. And when you get caught, it's like, why would you catch me? Like everybody does it. And it's like, but is it right? We had a sheriff. There was another viral video where it was in our county, but it had nothing to do with our county. It was a sheriff passing through our county. He was escorting. There was his local high school was playing in like South Florida. Yeah. So the bus is going back up the interstate. He's following him, and he pulls off, and the bus keeps going. So he goes lights and siren in an unmarked SUV, and he's blaring through Indian River County, and a trooper stops him, and it's a fucking pissing match that made YouTube and went viral. Yeah. And the sheriff is wrong. He's like, fuck you. I'm a fucking sheriff. I can drive how I want. I'm catching up to he's like, sheriff, you're going 120 miles an hour in an unmarked car with a regular tag with lights. He goes, you don't think that draws attention from the police? Yeah. And I'm calling, of course, you got our sheriff wrong. I'm calling Daryl Liar or whatever. It was Daryl Lore. He's like, had the sheriff's name wrong, but he was throwing the sheriff's name around in our county. He was going to have this guy's job. And it's like, It's stupid. It's stupid. You get caught, and then it's like you look worse, trying to defend it versus just like, hey man, I fucked up. I was trying to catch the bus. I turned my lights on. I shouldn't have done. I guarantee that trooper goes,
Yep.
well, I don't know. He's a fucking trooper, but I guarantee for maybe he goes, my only ticket in my entire life I got as a cop.
Yeah.
Ohio State Patrol. I crossed in from, what is it, West Virginia touches Ohio down there. Crossed in, the speed limit went from 70 to 65. I set it like 83. Got in, and dude came with the big fucking hat, and he walked up to the fucking thing kept growing like that fucking movie. And he walks up to the car. He walks up to the car, and he's like, he says, "How you doing, boy? I got you speeding here." And I'm like, "Sir, I'm sorry." I was like, "I set the speedometer for 9 over. I didn't realize the speed limit changed, and I'm actually going like 14 over. Boy, I'll write you for 5 over in the state of Ohio." And I looked at him, and I looked at him, I said, "Go write the fucking ticket." Just like that. I'm like, "Go write the fucking ticket." And then he comes back up. My daughter's in the front sleeping, and he's trying to talk to her. I'm like, "Don't talk to my fucking kid, dude." I'm like, "Give me the fucking ticket." And he did. He wrote me the ticket. And I'm like, okay. So that was my only ticket in my entire life was as a cop. So that's probably one of those guys that like beats off to writing tickets. And then you have like New York where they don't even, you just like hold your badge out the window going 90 and they just drive away.
You got the little the FOP plaques that you stick to your tag and shit. You can just might as well go 900 miles an hour.
Because I remember when I worked when I first started here, one of the guys did it, and the girl pulled him over, and she's from down here that I worked with, and she had no idea what up north, and I grew up there, so she's yelling at this guy, and I'm like, "Come here." I'm like, "Listen, up there, that they just hold it out the window on the interstate going 100, and they have a real brotherhood up there. Like you can commit like Rico up there. You can commit like Rico up there, like Michael Dowd Rico, and they'll all help each other out. So different world, but so I guess
there was a one the other day, like talking like how guys making stupid decisions. There was a trooper that I know. He was down on I-16 in like middle of BFE Georgia. He's doing 115 miles an hour in a 65, like in his patrol car. So like the deputy catches up to him. Well, the deputy catches up to him. He knows it's a trooper when he's about to. He walks up or he's driving us to Durango. He pulls up, so he lights him up. The trooper flashes his lights at him real fast. Doesn't slow down. Just flashes his lights at, turns it off. Ends up pulling him over. Deputy pulls up next to him. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" The trooper says, "Don't you worry about what I'm doing," and then just drives off.
I saw it.
Just drives off. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, my man, that's actually a crime. Like fucking like, bro. So here's the thing. If that deputy was just the right one and he pulled out and walked up and just stacked that dude into a ditch, it would have been a shit show. But if he rolled up and he just stacked that trooper into a ditch, you know who's not wrong? The fucking deputy.
Yeah.
Man. But
it was a GSP guy, right? He says, "Don't worry about what I'm doing," and he peels out. And it's like that was very similar to the Orlando PD one, but that guy got arrested and fired. And I don't think that it was funny. It was because I think it's GSP. Everybody took that dude's side. It was like, those are the fucking maniacs. That's the NFAC guys. Like, they're allowed to do that. So I remember when that one happened, nobody was really too upset with the GSP guy. Everybody laughed about the.
Yeah, but that could have gone. That could have you drive away from the wrong one, and you can spin that however you want. I didn't know if he was actually a trooper. It could have been a stolen car. I didn't know nothing. He might have been drunk, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he's fleeing. But like I said, like a lot of times you don't have to, like for us, we don't have to give you any time or whatever. We can just pitch you immediately. Like we can just pull up behind you and then just rock your shit. So can you imagine the fallout from that? Oh my God, man.
Yeah, that would have been a pissing match. What county was that? Do you remember?
Shit. I was somewhere down on 16. I forget. It's one of those, just a little never knew it existed county going through out to Savannah, going from Macon out to Savannah, somewhere down there. Yeah.
So we were talking earlier. Your chief Ken DeSoma there. You guys brought the VNR in, and he went through the class.
Yeah, we did it today. Yeah, we went. He came through today. It was good. Yeah. He almost went out with a cross collar choke, so that was fun. He almost pulled one of Lieutenant Quinn's sleep. What?
How cool is that? Like for people listening.
Sandy
Springs Police Department.
Started, man. Yep. And as soon as we started, like we were gonna go up, and I was like, all right, Chief, because I'm never gonna get this opportunity ever again. I was like, you're gonna be my example. So like, how often you get to choke out your Chief, man? Yeah, it's fun. Yep.
But I
But he
mean,
was into it, man. He was into it. Yep.
yeah, like we talked about, man. Like you guys, since you've been there, they increased it, they changed the pursuit policy, and then they brought the VNR in, and there's no, like we've talked about, there's no wonder you guys.
They just posted I don't even know if they're trying to do like there's this rag of a newspaper on the newspaper here that tries to square off with us for I don't know what they do. So they did a whole article on our pursuits and like how aggressive we are compared to everyone else. And I don't know if they might have tried to make it look as like a hit piece, but I mean, like if you watch it, like the just shows how much more danger you're in if you come to the kingdom and you do dirt. Like we're gonna destroy you. Like so, if you look at, they were saying like it talks about how many times we use pits, and it talked about like the one they interviewed the chief from one of the agencies. Like I don't remember the last time we used the pit, and that's the agency directly north of us. So I'm saying like just pick anywhere else to go. Just don't come here. Pick anywhere else to go. So what the news article was telling all the criminals where to go. Yeah, don't come to Sandy Springs, man. Don't do that.
I guess that was Taliaferro County, Georgia.
Yep.
So here is the man. This is your chief.
There he is.
That he chased that car, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if anybody wonders where to go work, and you're anywhere within Atlanta area or any further, there's a wait because it's like In-N-Out Burger is the best. So there's a wait, but that is Ken DeSoma, the chief of Sandy Springs Police Department. That's a vehicle he chased himself. And the funny story there is he sent you the picture after he did it, right?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
He was telling you, hey, this old timer still got it, is what he was letting you know, right?
There was, man, and I want to find another one because so when I was telling people about that picture or whatever, they're like, oh yeah, like it was funny, he had a suit on. I was like, what are you talking about? So when he got hired originally years ago, he was a deputy chief originally. He got in a chase with another car, and there's a picture of him standing on top of the hood of the car in a suit, like with his gun out. And I want to find out if I find that picture. I'll send that one to you. But I want to find out. So yeah, he's been doing this shit for. But
look, I mean, I'm gonna highlight this. This is the last thing we're gonna talk about. Like here is the chief of police, and I'm gonna bring this up bigger. Look at this dude, man. This dude is wearing a vest. This dude's got gloves on. This dude chased his car. He got the cool shades on, and he's out here doing hood rat shit. He's putting people.
He wears armor. He wears a full. Unless he has meetings, he wears full armor, full uniform every day.
And there it is.
He'll be out there. He still does traffic stops. You'll be out, and you'll be on a traffic stop, and then you turn around, and he's out on the traffic stop with you.
Completely geared up, ready to go. Yep. Completely ready to go. And that's that. You know what? And I've had multiple conversations. Obviously, today's podcast was about the Lee County Sheriff's Office and all the problems over there. And other people call me all the time and ask, yes, everybody can't move to Sandy Springs, Georgia, but that gives you some clarity that there are good administrations with good people working there that are, even in 2025, with all the bullshit going on, they're pushing VNR, they're pushing PIT, they're pushing pursuits, and they're doing the right thing. And when you ask yourself, where do I want to go work? When you see the chief of police standing on the side of a car he just got done chasing, I can assure you that should be your top one or two. And you can find, I'm sure there's other agencies, not everybody's a social media person. I'm sure there's other agencies that maybe they're not out doing all that, but they support that stuff. So when you're looking for a place to go, talk to people you know, talk to the people at the agency, get the real scoop on. But if you see a chief or a sheriff stand on top of a car like that.
And that was funny. So I was looking at through the comments, and there was haters every once in a while, but somebody said some bullshit like air quotes, like, hey chief, put a uniform on so we can take a picture. Nah, motherfucker. Like he did that shit. I don't care if you want to believe it or not. Like that there are guys that still do that.
You told me the story long before you ever even came on. You sent me that picture long ago, and you were like, when we first met, before we were coming online or before we were going to do any of this, we talked for one of the first times, and you were like, dude, look where I work. And you sent me that picture and was like, this is the fucking guy I work for. And was like, I'm like, holy shit.
The picture you sent me, I forget who put it together. It was like, but it was the pic. It was like they put it together. It was a picture of me and a picture of Chief. And it was like, it's no surprise that this guy works
Yeah,
Or this
somebody
guy,
made that.
right?
Yeah. Oh, it was my
for
wife.
sure. And-
My wife actually
yeah.
made that.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
my wife.
So
Yeah.
so this guy works for this guy, and it's not even me. Like I have a presence because of the internet thing, but like there are a lot of really good guys that come and work here that go just as hard as I go, right? And they're drawn to places like I work because, and like it makes you want to. Like I said, it makes you want to work really, really hard. So it's a draw to it, and like it should. They have it set up, man. Like I said, and like I talked to it, especially how big it's gotten because of the, just the reach, especially talking to you has gone. I had a bunch of people hit me up and I'm like, listen, man, I was like, you can't take it personal, but they're very picky about who they pick. And I'm not saying never. I'm just saying don't get your feelings hurt because a lot of times you go to some law enforcement agencies, not a lot of times you're not used to hearing no. Like you'll go through an entire process and they'll be like, well, you just ain't it. Man, yeah. So it's an interesting time to.
There's a few like that. Martin County Sheriff's Office down here is well staffed, and they tell a lot of people no. And it's like, and then you go somewhere else, and they're like, hey, that dude at Walmart, that just he could work here. Like, go get him. So there's some agencies that have that mentality, and there's places like you guys and some others that say we're only gonna take good cops. And that when people say, what is the change? How do you change the culture of law enforcement? That's the beginning of it. Is we're not just going to take shit bags. We're not going to just take anybody. And it may take a little longer to get fully staffed, or it may take some hard conversation with some people to go, hey man, you're not cutting it, or you're not our material.
And we'll there's been clients that we'll get rid of you. And like I said, we're one of the places that like I've seen it that if you're going through FTO, it doesn't mean you have a job. You know what I'm saying? You'll go through FTO, and if you're tanking your DURs, they're gonna get you out of there, man. That's just how it goes. It's not like, well, we need a body for the shift. Bullshit. Yeah. We'll get rid of you, go somewhere else, and that's how it goes. But and it's good. A couple like my way, like there's, obviously, we are, but there are a lot of good agencies up here. There are some garbage ones, but the disparity between looking at places that you can still and some places are that you can be proactive. Aggressive might be a little much of a stretch. You can be proactive. They want you to do the things, not just observe and report. And they pay very, very well, and the retirement's really, really good. So it's a good the metro area, especially North Metro area where I work, and kind of moving out from there. We got some really good sheriff's offices and stuff up here that they're very, very, very aggressive, and they support law enforcement. So it's a good place.
Awesome. So. All right, Jordan, I appreciate you coming on again for Hot Topic. Make sure you guys tune in after this at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Dominic Izzo's YouTube channel. Will be Cop Talk. He's one of our counterculture members, and I appreciate all the comments, everybody tuning in, and we'll see you next week.